his first chance. He's been a monster in this series. And West lines it up. George all the way in for the stuff. There's Paul George out.
And you can see the mindset that Paul George has come with. That's a patented step back there by David West.
Pocket for Indiana. Shot clock at 2. George guarded by Millsap. Three-pointer is good. Paul George delivers in the clutch.
Kicks it out to George. His the largest lead of the first half. Stevenson with 12 points. George to drive. Overton. George for 3. Puts it.
Paul George, guarded by Korver. George steps back.
And also, I love Hibbert there, just giving it back to him.
It's Paul George knocks one down, and the Pacers go up 8. Pass George trying to Paul George!
The degree of difficulty on both these shots by Paul George.
Here's George. He's feeling it right now. Paul George with 16. 10 in this quarter.
We talked about it at the top. It's always nice when your best player sets the tone.
George answers. Paul George for 3. Yes! George has an answer on the other end. George on the attack. Here's George. And George stops and pops. And it's back to double digits. Splits the double team.
George puts that one in, and the Pacers up 4-2. George has to. And Paul George has come out of the block strong. George gets inside. Difficult move there. Another steal, this time from George, and the Pacers regain the lead. West looking. George catches a 3. Bang! At the buzzer. Paul George from downtown. Chalmers stayed with the play. George on the steal on a bad pass from Bosch. George goes at Allen and throws it down. 5 to shoot. George, tough turnaround. That's good. Paul George with 20 points. Extra pass. George is open. One by George. George's shot is good. 4 to shoot George. Wade trying to stay with him. George pulls up. Puts it in. Paul George again. 15 fourth quarter points for George.
That's good defense. Just better offense by George.
Paul George from downtown. Does it again. He's got 34.
What a monster second half for George.
A 3. George pumping on a 3. Pulls up for 2. Paul George. George mismatched the play for the Deuce. George up high for 3. Paul George from deep. George fires the 3 and hits.
Give Hibbert the assist for that play.
5 on the timer. Paul George a 3. George goes to the outside. A 3-ball. He's got it. Washington up by 4. George fires over Ariza. Bullseye for 3.
He's feeling it.
Shot clock is down to 3. Down to 2. George beats the shot clock. Kick out for George. Offers up the 3. 30 points for George. George step back 3. Oh, it's good and a foul. Paul George with a chance at a 4-point play.
Dribble. Stevenson on the assist. And an early burst. It is Paul George. Thought he got contact. How about the high post passes early of David West? Paul George, one of the leaders in steals in the NBA, and got 4th best on takeaways. Instead, a wide open 3. Paul George. George gets it done for beyond the arc before DeMarre Carroll can close. The final 4 seconds. Paul George knows the triple to the buzzer. 13 haymaker, outscoring the Hawks in the 3rd. Points, 9 boards, and 6 assists. I'd say triple-double territory.
Atlanta winning game 1 and game 3 2 days ago, and they have a chance to put Indiana in the crosshairs. And Paul George knocks down the first shot to get us started this afternoon. Away with it. George looking up. He'll spin. And he takes it himself. There's George Hill, and he'll find Paul George, and a three-pointer on the way is good.
This is what you expect from your best player.
Carroll guarding George. He steps back.
They go with the handoff, and Paul George comes up big there with that step back.
21 bench points. Paul George, that was a thing of beauty. Indiana down 2 with the ball. Here's George for 3 in the lead.